RavenIdle, one of the newest games on the immutable blockchain, went live this past weekend, and boy did it get off to a great start. Currently, a few days into Season 1, the prize pool is at more than $100,000. And it's not too late to get in, get up and running. So in this episode, I'm going to give you 5 tips to do just that. Get into the game, get up and running, things I had to learn the hard way. So if this sounds interesting to you, please stand by. Hey everyone, welcome back. Ron's Dragon here. We're going to be dropping into RavenIdle. It finally went live this past weekend. We've been waiting since the summer, or at least I have. They redesigned most of the game, brought it back. At this point, there's more than 100,000 people playing. At this point, more than $100,000 in the first season prize pool currently. We went over a lot of these details in the last few episodes. So if you want to get up and running, it's not too late because we still got the rest of the month to go. Each season is 28 days. And depending upon how you play and how much you play, you can get up and running and get on the leaderboard. Currently, in Season 1, if you have a Battle Pass, if you buy the Battle Pass, which is $12, you will get a prize. Everybody on the leaderboard, well, wherever you happen to fall on the leaderboard, even if you're towards the bottom, you still will get some type of prize. Obviously, the people towards the top of the leaderboard get more prizes. So it's not too late. I do have my link in the show notes if you want to go ahead and get started. I just want to say right off the bat, I probably wouldn't even be talking more about this if I wasn't having such a good time with it. So let's go ahead and dive in. The idea for this video is passing on 5 tips to get you up and running in the game, things I had to learn the hard way. Now in this video, I'm not going to talk about character builds and things like that. You can get in and you can change your character builds around in this game. So it doesn't matter. You can try things out. Obviously, you're going to try to score more leaderboard points as quickly as possible, but you can switch your classes around as you see fit and try things around. So just because you try some initial classes and combinations doesn't mean you're married to those forever. So I'm not going to talk about those. I talked about those a little bit in prior episodes, but what I want to go over is some tips overall to give you an idea of how the gameplay proceeds. The first 2 tips are what I consider the most important, right? How do you proceed and up the leaderboard, score more points, and get better prizes, right? So the idea here is on the top left, you see the Battle Pass and you see Achievement. Okay, so the Battle Pass, much like a lot of other games, they have a free side. When you're working through these, you're scoring your points. You can claim the free. If you have the premium, you can claim the premium side, which just like most other games, right? Now, to be able to actually take away prizes at the end of the season, you will need to have that premium pass bought. Okay, so on this page, what I wanted to point out are your daily quests. These are going to be very important. You're going to want to try to complete each one of these quests on a daily basis. Now you do have the ability to re-roll your missions once if you didn't like the layout of them, if you wanted a different selection. So much like RavenQuest in the game. Okay, so that's tip number 1. Now, tip number 2, and these aren't like really in any particular order because you really need to know all this stuff, is the achievements. This is how you're going to proceed up the ranking ladder to score more on that season-ending payout, right? So if you go into achievements, it's pretty much got everything here you could do in the game, from professions, leveling up your blacksmithing, carpentry, all your different professions, leveling up, doing things on your land, butchering animals, farming food, gathering, and basically proceeding up the levels. If you get to level 5, you get 10 leaderboard points. Level 10, you get 20, and so on and so forth, right? You understand the idea. As far as your overall player, there's a lot of things you can earn points for here. Overall, how much silver you earn in the game. As you're equipping different sets of armor, as one of the other things I'm going to point out here in a minute is building new armor, so you can continually to continue to strengthen your character. As you equip a full set, you get points for that. As you increase your legacy level, your archetype levels, as you slay numbers of monsters, you're going to slay an incredible amount of monsters, because another kind of side point here is you're going to want your character doing something at all times. You don't want it standing around doing anything. Trophies is something I also want to talk about. That's kind of like an extra tip there too. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And also at the end of each level, you have a boss to slay, not to mention trade packs. So we're not going to dig in real deep on this, but what I wanted to bring to light here is that if you want to know what to do in the game, they lay it out for you. You want to earn more leaderboard points, so you come in here to the achievements and you figure out which one you want to work on. So you level this up. And what I've done is, you can see that I've went across and I've started leveling each up a little bit at a time. Is that the best way? Maybe not. But in my mind, I'm making more armor and better armor levels for my character, so I need to level a lot of this stuff up. Like, I'm going with a fighter build with a one-handed sword and a shield. Is that better than a two-handed? Probably not, but it's something I wanted to try out this time around. During the beta, I tried more of a roguelike build, which worked good too, and I did two one-handed. That's also a great build. But either way, my point here is I need carpentry to build shields, so I need to level up my carpentry. Everybody's going to need to level up cooking, because another point is that you always want to have food buffs on your character while you're fighting, right? Mining, weaving, all very self-explanatory, but the idea here is leveling them up as you go and earning those points to keep moving forward in the game. You have the next point I want to bring up was Infusion. Infusion is a method to increase the quality of your armor. Okay, so you're going to have to go down and you're going to have to gather materials to make yourself armor, whether you use cloth, leather, or plate, right? I'm currently using plate, and so I'm using mining to gather the ore, and then blacksmithing to build the armor. But once you get it built, and for a certain amount of levels, instead of building that until you can work your way up to that next set of armor that you can build, what you're going to want to do is increase the quality of your current armor, make yourself stronger. And how you do this is a very cool thing that I found in game, or that I found with this game, was the idea of, in prior games, you ended up just like selling old armor to the vendor or something like that. In this game, you take that old armor and infuse it into the new armor. So whenever I infuse this quality armor, or infuse this armor and make the quality better, none of it's ever lost. I never end up selling it to the vendor. It just gets combined into my new armor, helping the new armor out. So you would put your new piece of armor up here, and let me move myself out of the way, and then your old piece of armor would go down here. We also have what are called infusion stones, and they come in a different variety, and they drop off of monsters when you kill them. And you can take those and put them in the item slot and use them to increase the quality as well. Now, it will cost extra silver to make this happen, which you earn off of fighting the monsters and stuff like this. But you don't want your your equipment to fall behind too much, because there's when you build a new set of armor and weapons, it's pretty strong for a few levels, and then you start seeing it, strongness, if that's such a word, tapering off as the monsters get harder and harder. And then the next tip I want to go over is land. Always keep things going on your land, because whether you're farming, whether you're growing trees to chop them down, whether you're doing animal husbandry to harvest animals and things off the animals like leather or skins and stuff, they do take a fair amount of time to mature. So always keep something going on your land, and whenever possible, go ahead and upgrade your land. When you get enough silver, give yourself more space. And what you actually put on that land will be very dependent upon, guess what? Back to what we talked about originally, the achievements you're working on. So, and also one of the other things in the game is trade packs you can build out, and these also help you proceed through the game. But different trade packs require different things. Like this one requires stone, log, and a hide, whereas this one is a produce one, and it requires apple, broccoli, pea, and bean. So you can see that whichever achievement or your daily quest on the battle pass or the trade pack, whatever you're working on currently, would dictate what you actually do with your land. The next tip that helps you move through the game at a quick pace or a quicker pace, help you proceed through the game, is running your daily dungeon. You need to run it. You start off with one, and you can buy more in the store or more keys to the dungeon, right? This gives you a variety of things to proceed through the game, experience, and things of this nature. But you're going to want to make sure you at least get your one daily dungeon run in, and as you proceed through the game, if you can buy more options to run that again, go ahead and do that. And what happens is you start the dungeon off, make sure your character is loaded down, you got some food, you got some whetstones to increase your armor, you got some health potions and things like this, and then you start the dungeon run off. And what it does is it proceeds through each floor, and you fight monsters, and you proceed up to the next floor. It gets harder, it gets harder, it gets harder, until finally your character is killed off. So it gives you some good rewards, but you don't want to forget to do that on a daily basis. And my final tip, besides one extra little statement I need to make about the game that I've kind of figured out over the last few days, is look out for trophies. Most different types of monsters drop what is called a trophy. And these trophies, as time goes along, will be exceedingly more important to increase the power of your character. Okay, it's almost to the bottom. Scroll all the way down and click on trophies. You can see over the last few days, I've picked up 2 trophies, a dwarf trophy and a troll trophy. And you can see that this is a permanent boost. My dwarf trophy gives me plus 4% to weapon defense, and my troll trophy gives me plus 4% to health regeneration. So these are very low percentage as far as drops. Very hard to get, right? But if you can get one, you start stacking up these trophies, they'll increasingly boost the power of your character up. So they're going to be very make it easier for you to work through the game, right? So what I'm going to show you is if you go into monsters, you're going to have to pick out monsters to fight. This is something you can set. You get your character set up, you can click and fight, and just walk away, go to bed, whatever. You can log out of your computer, you can turn your computer off, it will stay going, right? Now, there are some different reasons why you would want to pick certain monsters. Sometimes you're looking for a part off of them, that you're trying to build something, like the turtle characters drop a turtle shell that you need to put in some shields. That's just an example, right? But if you click on a character, like we're clicked on these trolls here, level 28 through 30, these are the ones I was fighting because I need some Ripper Fangs to build my new sword, my sword upgrade. But that's not my main point here. It tells you all the other possible drops. Now you will see here that it does have a possible drop of a troll trophy, which I already have, right? So whenever you look through your monsters that you're going to fight, you want to see, obviously some of the trophies are going to be better for certain character builds versus others. So obviously I'm not too overly concerned about mana regeneration. Would it help me? Sure, but I'm not a mage, right? I am a fighter, a dark fighter build, as it were. So I went for some regen and some weapon defense, right, first off. But my point is that what my plan is when I go to bed and I set my guy up to go overnight, I'm going to try to pick out a trophy that I need for my character and just let it go, because it's a very small percentage chance, but like I said, once in a while you get up and you've earned a trophy, right? So keep an eye out for those trophies. And like I said, you would also want to pick different characters to fight depending upon which drops you wanted. Okay, and finally, this isn't really a tip. This is just kind of an observation. It is a play to earn game. It is also these kind of things kind of look pay to win-ish to me. So I wanted to point them out. Not that I'm not having a great time with this game, but you will get in and you will see. You'll ask yourself, wow, how did they score that much? Or how did they get that high on the leaderboard? Well, here's the thing. If you go into the monk shop, and I'll tell you what, a lot of these are for sale for monk coins, which right off the bat, just like a lot of these play to earn games, they do have a shop where you can buy a particular kind of coin with regular dollars. Like you can get 500 monk coins here, which if you use my referral code and you buy the season pass, then you should get 500 free monk coins. in your account to get started off if you want to do that. But my point here is that you can buy the monk coins, which you can in turn buy other things in the shop. Now, we talked about this a little bit. You can buy effort potions. This helps you progress through a lot of the different crafting, because if I said to myself, these are apple trees, I really need to get these apples finished off fast because I need to make the fruit and vegetable trade pack and get that out the door, then I could come in here and click on the apple, and here I could use 600 and go ahead and finish that off. So my main point here is that you can actually put real money into the game, and you can buy effort potions, and you can chug your way through the game, right? You can basically buy your way through the game on basically a lot of the crafting stuff that requires effort. Now, as far as the dungeon goes, here's what I was telling you about. Now, each time you start a dungeon run, just going back to what we talked about previously, you start over. But if you buy a dungeon memory tome, you remember your last dungeon run starting 10 floors before your last run instead of starting from floor 1. So you can buy a dungeon memory tome, and you can skip most of that and start in your newest dungeon run and save time, basically. And then here's the dungeon key. You buy a dungeon key, and you can buy up to 4. So you can have, I guess, a total of 5 dungeon runs per day if you wanted to. But once again, these are monk coins that you can earn through the game, which you earn on the battle pass, but you can also turn around and buy them, right? And then boosters, energy juice. I wanted to bring this up. This is not really a full-fledged tip, but you also earn energy juice as you're chugging through the battle pass and completing these different, like you can see that I've completed over to level 11, right? And at certain intervals, you earn monk coins, like I was talking about. At certain intervals, you can earn some packs and RavenQuest, but you can also earn the energy juice. And what energy juice does is it increases, if I can keep my cursor still, increases experience silver loot from creatures, trade pack speed, and gathering speed for 100%. For 1 hour. So basically, people that are scoring really well on the leaderboard are also going to have these on at all times. So obviously, you would, as you start out, you don't have too many of them unless you go ahead and you buy a pack of them off the store, or buy them with monk coins, which you bought off the store, right? But it's a good thing to keep on as much as you possibly can. Like I said, I've got 13, and I try to keep them going as much as possible. Okay, this has been Bronze Dragon. I know that was a lot of information in a short amount of time. I'm trying to do it, but I'm trying to give you a good amount of information to benefit yourself as well. So let me know in the show comments if you've been playing and there's a tip that I missed that you think I should have talked about, and we can assemble some tips and learn off of each other, and I'll do another video on it. Also, let me know what you think of the game. This has been Bronze Dragon. As always, I hope everyone on your side is happy and healthy, and hey, I'll see you in RavenIdle.